Hello, welcome to the weather updates, 9:30, and it is January 17th, 2023. Back in the gloomy weather today. There are a few showers around as well. Just light, very light. A couple of light showers in the evening, but other than that, you can see we're pretty much socked in with the clouds here. I'm going to pull this out a little bit, and again, so we get a wider view of what we have here going on. We have a U.S. East Coast one. Or Eastern U.S. one. Well, let's look at this one here. So yeah, this is the Eastern U.S. here, and you can see there's that storm that was again offshore yesterday. We can go actually to 240 frames. Let's see. You can track this thing here. Not going to be able to see too much already on this. You can see the clouds coming in for today. There, oh, it's way out. Look at it. It's got an eye. It had an eye right before making landfall in. Looks like somewhere in Nova Scotia. You got to be kidding me. Let's go to Atlantic Canada because that's crazy. Let's look at that. This thing had an eye, and yes, the Hurricane Center did actually make a statement about this storm yesterday. It said a non-tropical low. They call it non-tropical. About 300 miles north of Bermuda is producing storm-force winds. But they actually did issue a statement on it with this statement right here. If you look here, they actually put an X on this thing right here. And you can see the eye right there. So I don't know why they call it non-tropical. It had tropical characteristics. It wasn't a full-fledged tropical storm, but it definitely had tropical characteristics to it. Let's see. I think we have one for Canada. I think we can do Canada, northeastern. It's northern Atlantic. We can do northern Atlantic. Yeah, let's do northern Atlantic. Yeah, you can sort of see that. All right, I have to take this back again to I don't know how many frames here, so you can see it making a landfall. Yeah, here you go. Look at this thing. So here it is, making a landfall in Nova Scotia yesterday. Look at the eye. There's the eye right there. You clearly see the eye right there. That's incredible there. So it kind of got absorbed into the extratropical thing, but it definitely was like a little tropical system within the larger system. It was pretty interesting. Pretty interesting, to say the least. And actually, I should have put this in flash intensity. It's not going to... Oh, I got to put this back over here. Okay. Northern Atlantic, flash intensity. And we'll take this again back to the 180 hours so you could see what kind of lightning activity was going on under the storm. Yeah, I was tired last night, so I couldn't talk about it. But there it is. There's the center of it right there. Again, no lightning around the center of it, though. So you clearly see those. Very interesting to see that. And the lightning that far north and east, too, is quite remarkable. We're having trouble loading the map, but yeah, clearly see, yeah, there's still a little lightning right there within it, but that's incredible. And you see how far that plume is going, all the way into Greenland, that plume of moisture. Incredible. That's just incredible right there. So let's go to the CONUS satellite view. So take a look at what's going on across the country, and you'll see it's kind of here's our Thursday soaker right here. And it looks like another storm coming into the west coast right now. So if we do the CONUS West, you'll see we have another storm coming in right now to the west. But you can see it's further north, so it won't be pounding California. It's going to be more into the Pacific Northwest. And this is where we see the breakup of the fire hose pattern, finally, that we've been putting up with for so long. So looking at our weather map here, this is our weather map right here, and you can see weak low pressure, the cold front off to the west. And here's our bigger storm that's in the southwest. This moves east, and that's going to bring us our next chance for significant rainfall on Thursday. So let's go look at what we've got going on across the country, and you'll see that storm producing winter storm warnings. So they're going to get snow in the upper Midwest. They've got to deal with some strong winds. Looks like fire weather watches for Texas, and high wind warnings as well. And we also have winter weather advisories in for parts of northeast Arizona and Colorado, and then the mountains in California. But finally, things are quieting down in the west. And then we also have winter storm watches up for parts of Wisconsin. So yeah, let's take a look at some observations across the area right now, and we'll go to our area right now. There's not 109 in West Hampton. Something seriously wrong there. But we've got temperatures generally in the mid-40s, definitely warmer than yesterday. Looking at Farmingdale, I can see 45. You can see the winds south-southwest. There's not that much humidity in the air, which is part of the reason why the rain is not that much. We still have dew points that are fairly low, so that's why we're not seeing too much of the rain. But again, well, I want to look at Nova Scotia and see what kind of weather they had where that storm made landfall. So let's take a look at this. Yes, Sydney. Let's see what they had, because it looked like that storm made landfall around Sydney. And let's see what we've got here. So yeah, it's some pretty strong winds. Still, that's some pretty. We're gonna go back into yesterday though. Yep, some pretty strong winds there with that storm system. Yep, pretty very windy weather. Let's see with that storm system there. But it weakened a significant deal. But look at how low it did get down as low as 29.4. Wow, look at that. Look at how low the barometer got there. 29.08 inches. Looks like it bottomed out at around 29.08 inches. So, yeah, I mean, this is pretty, remarkable. Again, it's just, when you have warmer than normal ocean temperatures, it helps fuel these storms to be some monsters. And you can see here, this doesn't show Greenland, does it? No, it does show Greenland. So let's take a look at Greenland. Look at how warm it is in Greenland. So this surge of air came into Greenland, 28 degrees. In southern Greenland, 24. That's really disturbing. So it really brought a lot of rain. And you can see here, again, just warm. And it doesn't show rain, but it shows that it's been really warm. Look, dew points as high as the teens. That's really warm for Greenland. That's not good at all. So, and again, this is going to inhibit ice growth on Greenland. Even 10 degrees here. I mean, for Greenland, that's not that cold at all. So you can see that surge of warm air is going well up into Greenland here. They're supposed to be much colder than that. Temperature shot up. I mean, for Greenland, that is very, very warm. And again, very disturbing. It's not above freezing, thank God, but it's very warm nonetheless. And you shouldn't have the warm air get that far up. But again, that's what we have because of the jet stream situation. So let's look at our highs and lows for the day. I'll start with the lows last night. They probably didn't drop that much, but we'll put that in here. Generally upper 20s to low 30s. And what about the highs? Let's see the highs here. So we got into the mid 40s, so above normal again today, of course. So it's no surprise here how above normal we are. And like I said, we're running very much above normal. If you want to see how much above normal we're running, we can look at the climate data and look at the preliminary climate data here for islip, and we'll show you how above normal we are running. So let's go to islip, and let's do the preliminary monthly climate data. I don't know if this gives us the mean. Islip. Let's see if it does. So your average monthly 42.1. So we're departure from normal. Islip is almost 10 degrees above normal for the month so far. That's incredible. That is an incredible departure. It's going to be double digit, I think, the time this month is over, because we got more warmth on the way when we go ahead and look at the weather. So let's go and look at the models now, and I realize I had two of these open, but okay, we'll close one. So let's go to the North American view and look at the winds in the upper atmosphere here, and you will see here that we have again the Pacific fire hose breaking down, but we still don't see a big trough in the east. You can see sort of like the trough generally going into the west. There it goes into the west, and that means that the cold air is going to go into the west. But you start seeing more troughing, and maybe eventually it will work its way east. But this is still not very encouraging. We're not seeing any big troughs in the east at all. The jet stream is literally right over us. You see right there some pretty powerful jet stream winds. But other than that, in that segment of the jet stream, there's still no trough in the east. We're still not seeing a trough in the east. And that is very, very, very disturbing. And if we go and we look at the upper air winds, the upper pattern, you'll see here, trough goes into the west, but no trough. No, there's a few small troughs in the east, but you see what happens here. It's kind of flat. There is some hope for some cold air to try to make it into the east, but this doesn't have the signature of any Arctic air at all, unfortunately. And we see a lot of troughing in Greenland and Upper Canada as toward the end of this run. So this is not, you want to see ridging, you want to see that ridge to help push the cool air down, but that's not what we're seeing here. So that's not, it's not a good setup for if you want to have cold weather. We can look at the European 12Z European run on this and see if there are any differences here between that and the GFS. And you'll see there's a trough right, there's a storm right there, but again, the tracks of the storms are not really. The European definitely looks like it's got a better look to it. You can see that right now. Let me go to the jet stream here. You see the European has more of a trough in the east here, and it's showing more cold air. But we all know the record in the European hasn't been great. And you can see there's that nice ridge in the west, and if that was the case, then we'd have colder weather. If we looked at the temperature anomaly chart here, well, it really still, even with that, doesn't show that much cold air here. You don't see any deep purples or anything like that at all here on this map. And I'm keeping it on the North American view. You can see more or less it's just showing a lot of red. All right. If we go to the GFS, which we'll do now, look at our temperature anomaly chart, and I want you to show you this. Let's see, today is the 17th, so you can see there's that warmth getting into Greenland there, and you can see the whole east is just very warm throughout this week here. And again, any really big cold shots? Not really. There's one that tries to come through. Toward the end of the month. It tries. But with the pattern that we have, it's going to be hard. Yeah, we are not in the fire hose pattern. We're going to another pattern, but the pattern's still not favoring any really big Arctic outbreaks or any big snow, or any snow for that matter. And so let me go look at the surface now, and for that we will go to the CONUS view, and we'll go ahead and look at the surface here, and this is our next system to deal with. So this system may cause severe weather in the south. So if we look at the Storm Prediction Center, if we go to the Day 2 convective outlook, you'll see they've got a slight risk of severe thunderstorms in the south again with this system right here, right in the Mississippi River, pretty much the lower part of the Mississippi River area. We'll see chances for severe weather, which again, so many chances for severe weather in January. And then that shifts a little further east into Alabama as we get into your Thursday. And that is again with that the second, this is the storm system that's going to bring us the heavy rain on Thursday. So let's go back to, and again, looking at the map here, I should have showed you the radar. You'll see there are a few showers in Pennsylvania. It's just not a whole lot going on. Pretty much all the action is with this system right here. That's bringing some snow to the mountains there, Colorado. And so let's go back to the models here. And this will be our next system here that we're going to have to deal with. And this is going to be arriving, again, Thursday. Bring us probably a soaker, rain throughout much of the day, afternoon and evening. Wraps up by Friday. And then we get into somewhat cooler air, but again, not really cold air. And then you'll see the temperatures aren't even all that low. And then here comes the next system. Late Sunday night into Monday, overnight, another soaker, another rain event, then moderate air building behind it, and then boom, here comes the next one that we're going to deal with Wednesday night into Thursday. So you can see it's just one soaker after another again showing up, and then we get a little bit of a break, and then this would be our next possibility for maybe a little bit of snow. Perhaps it's got a weak low developing. This is over a week away toward the end of the month. It's developing a low pressure system that might, depending on where this all sets up, might be a snowstorm, might be. But that zonal flow is not encouraging. It's just going to kind of take it out, and you'll see the GFS doesn't really produce a whole lot of snow on that. But you do see it's trying to build in some cold air toward the end of the period, at least. So, and I say colder, it's not, it's just going to be seasonably cold air, like maybe highs in the 30s, no Arctic air. All right. Let's go to the European next, and we'll look at the European and look at the 12Z European again, because that one goes further out than this, all right? Obviously, these systems are going to be rain. Here's your soaker for Thursday. Almost redevelops another coastal low. It's the European doing that again. The European, I don't trust it. Its record hasn't been good. It used to be a very good model. Here's the next system for your Sunday night into Monday, and another soaker. Low goes just over New York City and really deepens it. Very strong low. Could be some strong winds with that. And then this system right here, this would be the system that could show some promise. This is the European here doing this. Actually, only the European is doing this, giving us a pretty good, decent chance for a nor'easter with snowfall a week from Thursday. But that is the European. Remember that. The GFS does not show it. And again, this is just the European showing it. And I don't even know if the European's been consistent on this. Let me go to the 0Z run and see if it shows it. Nope. So there's no consistency. And the 18Z run, I don't think goes out that far. So it's debatable what's going to happen here. That far out, it's hard. But at least there's some signs that maybe we're getting back to seeing some winter, maybe. And maybe. So now that we got that all out of the way, let's go take a close look at our area and take a look at our weather for the next few days as the rest of this week goes. The good news is we got rid of the showers tonight. I don't think there'll be too much more. Maybe a slight chance for an isolated shower before sunrise tomorrow. And then the rest of the day is dry. And then it's Thursday. We'll be dealing with the rain. And that's going to move in probably in the middle of the afternoon, early afternoon. And it's going to keep on raining. Here we are. It's going to keep on raining all throughout the evening. And it's going to linger. And this is as far as it goes. But you see it's going to linger until that's 7 o'clock Thursday night. It's going to go beyond that. If we want to go a little further on a short-range model, we could look at the NAM 12. It does eventually get it out of here, maybe by 8 or 9 o'clock. Maybe it'll stop. But it could be a real soaker with this and bring plenty of rain with us. And then here we are for your Friday, and you can see snow, instability, cloudiness probably. But this isn't really any really cold air that's going to be behind that storm at all. All right. And as far as the NAM, how much rain it gives us, total rainfall would be, like I said, in that half-inch to inch range, I think, is what we're going to see. And the GFS sort of agrees with that, too. If you look at the GFS, you'll see half-inch to inch range right there. Going back to the HRRR, you look at this for the temperatures, I guess. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to go to GFS. All right. So here's the dew points and wind flow. You'll see we've got, breezy conditions tomorrow, west winds. You see, relatively dry air, I guess you could say. You can see there's Arctic air that's well up north. We're not going to see that at all. Here we are on Thursday. Winds become southerly, and you can see some pretty deep moisture just offshore that we won't get into. Maybe if you're in parts of southern New Jersey, you might, but it probably won't get that humid at all. But that is going to be evicted over all this cooler air you see here, and that's what's going to produce your rain. So if we go to this, you'll see that's a pretty good. Look at that FGN there, deep red there. That is a decent amount of rain. Can't even rule out a thunderstorm there, but that looks like some pretty heavy rain right there that would develop along that area there of lift. So here we are into your Friday. The winds go northwesterly, or should I say westerly, and you'll see again 2 points drop. But no real Arctic air. You can see looking at this 2-point wind flow chart, Arctic air pretty much stays away. And then here's your next soaker, Sunday night into Monday. That's your next soaker. Is this the next one? And then behind that, maybe we finally see a little more colder air, but you can see it's not really any Arctic air at all. West wind still. And then here comes the next one. Here's your Thursday. And this is the one that the GFS wants to have a snowstorm. But not the GFS, the European wants to have a snowstorm. And then behind that, then as we get to the next weekend, and as we get into the final days of the month, you start seeing some of that colder air trying to make inroads here. Here we are, January 31st, and you're starting to see it trying to make inroads a little bit. These, again, are dew points, but it shows you the origin of the air and the wind flow. So looking at your actual air temperatures tonight, pretty much it's going to, I don't think we're going to get much below the probably upper 30s and low 40s tomorrow. Mid 40s to near 50, perhaps, depending on how much sun we get, especially from Jersey. It'll probably be about 50, southern Jersey anyway. Tomorrow night, radiational cooling. Will we have it? Will we not? That's debatable. We'll have to see how much cloud cover we have and the winds, which may stay up. Thursday, that's when we have the rain, but it'll be chilly, upper 30s, low 40s. It won't be a warm rain. You can see that really tremendously strong warm sector off the south. I mean, you could hit 70 if you're in Maryland, perhaps, or Delaware. But for us, it'll stay cool here. And then as you get into Friday, You can see mid-40s. This is still all above normal, by the way. And then as we get to Saturday, you see temperatures drop a little more, maybe upper 30s, but you don't really see any really cold air here until you get to see our 41, 40. I mean, it's still above normal. This isn't even Canadian air that we're dealing with here as we get. It's not until we get toward the end, toward next weekend, not this upcoming weekend, that we'll see some colder air come into the picture. And it's still showing highs, still around 40 degrees, which is still a little bit above normal. And then we get to Sunday. Now you're starting to see highs in the 30s, which is a little more closer to normal. Now highs only in the 30s, all right? So then you start to see some seasonable cold weather come in as we start rounding out the month into your early of February, all right? So we look at, just for fun, we'll put this total snowfall map up. It's not showing much for us. It's all upstate. But again, this could change. Does the European offer this product? It does not offer that product. It does not, unfortunately, so we can't do that. Okay, so let's now that we've got that out of the way, let's look at our skies. I'm going to go back to the GFS here. Again, look at our skies. Obviously, with this pattern, we're going to have plenty of clouds around tomorrow. It shows like partly sunny conditions. See, I know this is low resolution, but it just gives you a general idea. Friday, I think we'll have plenty of clouds. Saturday would be our next chance, but possibly some more sunshine. And then more clouds to Sunday. And then maybe next week, maybe we have a chance at some more sunshine. But again, you can see with the pattern we're in, it's hard to get, that big cold highs that gives you those nice clear skies to build down. We're not seeing that. It's not until we get toward the end of the period that we might see a chance for that, maybe. But this is very far out. I shouldn't even go that far out with the sky feature on this. Let's use its higher resolution brother. I'll put it this way. So you can see we may start off with sun tomorrow, but you can see clouds do roll in on us pretty quickly because there's going to be a lot of instability. So and the air isn't all that dry. So if we just put this on the screen here, requesting sounding, you'll see there's quite a bit of moisture between 900 and 700 MB. You can see those lines are pretty close together, which means a lot of clouds, I think. And we see that, even if the model isn't showing the clouds. It's one thing I've learned to look at. Is another tool we have to see how many clouds there'll be, even when the model doesn't show it. RGEM, which doesn't offer that feature. RGEM is showing a decent amount of sunshine, but again, this doesn't offer that feature. But again, I think like I said, I think there's going to be a lot of clouds around. I say partly sunny. I don't think we're going to have mostly sunny conditions. You'll see the sun, but you'll have those patchy low-level cumulus, stratocumulus clouds around. Or should I say not patchy, but, taking up at least half the sky. Probably will be a deck of them, probably. And then as you get into Thursday, here come the clouds from that next system. And then Friday, obviously, plenty of clouds for Friday. So, yeah, as far as a mostly sunny day, I don't see it tomorrow at all. Despite, what some models say. The NAM also wants to, say it's going to be mostly sunny. But again, if we look at this diagram here, and I put this here, requesting sounding, these are a little further apart here. The NAM does seem to think there's going to be more drier air up there. Let's see if I push this over Jersey. It does have more of a spacing, but I'm thinking that it may just be underdoing. Because, again, if you look at the actual satellite, which I have to put this back on here and wait for it, but you can see plenty of low to mid-level clouds in this blue color right here. So unless you get more into this, maybe there's a little more likelihood for clear sky over there. But like I said, I think partly sunny is going to do it tomorrow after that. And then once that moves through, then we're going to obviously do the clouds and the rain on Thursday and then Friday as well, dealing with it as well. So, yeah, I know it's not a great forecast. And, we have to wait until things change. We're still dealing with these clouds, and at least we had that sunshine yesterday, and that's why I enjoyed it to the fullest, because it's so hard just to get a mostly sunny day around here especially with this pattern that we're in. So let's go to the Climate Prediction Center next and look at our 6 to 10 day outlook. Still above normal in the east, precipitation also above normal. You can see if you're in the southwest, much below normal there. And precipitation is in the near normal. So it looks like Flagstaff would be a nice place to be for the next 6 to 10 days. 8 to 14 day, you see, you still have the cold out west, but you'll notice now we're near normal. We're near normal. All right, so it's definitely a little bit better than what we've had. And we won't be wildly above normal, but I still think this January is going to be one of the warmest on record. And it says a transition to linear and so, which I think we already have, and so neutral by 82%. But there's way more factors at play than just that, obviously. So I think that's going to wrap up this weather update. And again, try to enjoy a little bit of the sun tomorrow because we're going to deal with more rainy misery on Thursday. Thank you for watching and have a good night.